What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be reviewing some footage of gameplay that I've done recently. A lot of people have asked me to do gameplay breakdowns, so what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to look at this video, which is where we got a 30 kill game with the brand new shotgun the day. Literally, this was like the second game I played using this shotgun. It's honestly pretty a great gun, to be fair. But obviously we're gonna crack straight into it. We're gonna try and basically find out what it is that you guys want to know what's going on in my head, if that makes sense. So what I thought I'd do is, make sure that I got all the information for you. And not only did we actually do really well in this game, but we actually got called out on many different platforms for this exact video for apparently being a hacker. And they were like, you can see you done this, this, and this in this part, you done this, this, and that in that part. So I'm also going to break down, exactly what's going on in each situation regarding, the locations of where I was supposedly called out for doing X, Y, and Z. So let's have a look here. Now, I got the information up here. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to obviously just talk to you about it, and we're going to see how it goes. And right, so when playing on, obviously it depends where I land, but I love to land at milli base. I like to land in these particular section because there's 6 different, is it 6? Wait, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 different little cabins. Each little cabin has got loot in it. So I see someone coming down, but there's no point me shooting. That not only gives away my location, but obviously I'm not going to be able to kill that guy at that speed that he's falling. If he was parachuting, it might be a slightly different meaning. So obviously pushing through here, I've got Dane behind me, as you can see, and obviously I'm communicating with him. Now, right here, I'm just going to quickly pause it. So right here, I actually get 2 accusations for cheating. So the first one, you'll see me shoot the first guy, and apparently my aimbot flicks onto the next guy. I mean, it's not hard, you just look left. I don't know how else to say it. And another thing is, someone was like, you knew exactly where this guy was, but you need to remember, so I've thrown a C4, as you'll see right here. I throw a C4 onto the heli blows up. Now, I know I've downed someone, and then that was the flick that someone said was the aimbot. So I've now remembered I downed someone in the heli. I see him move right there. So if we go back and actually replay that last little second, you see the guy walking across. But apparently, someone was like, how did you know he was down there? Well, there you go. I saw him. I remembered I'd thrown a C4. You just put 2 and 2 together. Obviously, we first up all the people here. So I know I'm currently on 3 kills. And moving through milli base can be pretty easy because there's loads of cover. You've constantly got the ability to, move around and make sure that you are in that nice bit of cover wherever you are in milli base. There's always a lot of money. You can always get a loadout. So milli base is, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, one of my favorite landings other than Superstore. Obviously, that's where we go all the time now, as you see whenever I'm streaming. And in most of my videos, we're always landing Superstore. But obviously, other than Superstore, I'd probably say milli is probably one of my favorite spots. So obviously, I'm always communicating with Dame, who's my duo in this. Communication is key, guys. So 100%, a lot of people ask, obviously, how to improve. And not only, improving yourself, but if you're communicating, you'll be a lot better off at getting wins as well with communication. So obviously, we have to go all the way down to... we have to go all the way over to the, what's it called? The firehouse to complete the task. We go and grab our loadout first, because if you're going all the way over there, we had the money for the loadout. You might as well get the loadout. Always prioritize getting your loadout if you are able to get it. Obviously, there might be certain situations where, there's an enemy there or, all these different factors. But right there, we had the money. So we'd seen... So what I tried to do there, guys, I don't know if you noticed that, which is really cheeky, actually. If you have a cluster strike, if you hit the actual, if your laser hits this as it's falling down, the actual missiles will land on top of that location, but the people on the floor won't get a notification that there's a cluster strike incoming because it's all the way up here in the sky. so they won't get notified, and then the clusters will just come straight down and hit the people, which obviously I didn't manage to hit it, so I just called it in over in that location so that there was a chance that, you know, they're going to end up running as soon as they've grabbed it. We managed to weaken a few of them. So as you can see, Dame is to my right. We've got the airstrike giving cover. I've knocked one of them. So now we know, I believe we were doing trio or quads. I honestly cannot remember off the top of my head. It wasn't duos though, it's trio or quads. So as you can see here, me and Dame, we're communicating to each other, letting him know that I'm going to be pushing left so that we got that advantage. I do see someone through there, but I didn't want to take the shot because I thought that I wouldn't get a clear one. So right here, I get a nice, a cleaner shot. If he had armor on, probably wouldn't have been able to do much. So I believe this is where we try out the shotgun for the first time. So obviously we've just picked up the shotgun. I throw a C4 over. I hit armor with a C4, which means I know he's weak. I'm listening for him. I see him behind a tree. I managed to laser him with the shotgun. Now, what's going through my head in this part is obviously Dame is there. He's pushing up. Make sure you're always armored, guys. If you've got a second break to grab them and put them armor plates on, it's really going to help. Obviously, Dame does end up informing us that they're all dead, and that was, in fact, the last guy, because the other guy I knocked, he bled out. So right here, obviously, we're about to go get our Ghost class. Ghost is, honestly, restock does help, but I personally find Ghost a little bit better, especially when making plays, running through, you know, various different locations. Trying to make flanks, and obviously that's what I do a lot. So let's have a look here where we run into. So when rotating, it's always good to try and keep a good rotation on a part of the hill where you can fall down either side. So if I got shot from behind, I had the hill that I could push forward. If I got shot from these guys, I had a hill where I could push back. So you really can obviously try and keep it to where you have cover at all times. So you notice how I'm moving from tree to tree, tree to tree. I've always allowing myself to have the cover if needed. And that is a very big priority that I would advise a lot of people as well, is whatever you do, try and rotate and maintain position so that you can get behind cover. So I actually got the knock there. The shotgun was just that little bit too far away to get instant kills, and I had stopping power rounds. So the fact that that guy dropped me just as fast as I did with a shotgun, it goes to show that this shotgun isn't actually overpowered, and it's actually pretty reasonable. I honestly think that this shotgun is reasonable. You don't see too many people using it. So obviously moving forward, obviously just picking up on all the different things. I let Dame know that there's a cluster there so he could pick it up. I prefer the airstrikes. I knew there was another body, so I had to quickly find it just to grab all the remaining you know, loot and money off of their bodies. So obviously moving forward here, someone in one of the comments somewhere up here said that my eyes were moving before I could see the guy. I mean, I don't understand that comment. That's honestly just, I'm always looking around. I'm always checking my minimap every 5 or so seconds to make sure that anything popping up. So obviously Dame has noticed that he's opened his minimap. He sees the shots fired down below. So on the minimap as well, it will have an arrow down if they're below your current altitude, or if they're above your current altitude. Say you're in a house and they're on the top floor of the house, and they're shooting an unsuppressed weapon, it will have an arrow up. Or if they're on UAV or something. So right here, Dame tags him. Now I wanted to see if it was a one shot to the head. Dame didn't obviously know this, so he shoots as well. I shoot at the same time. I get him in one hit. But that is because Dame actually did put a bullet into him. Now, right here, someone says that, you know, the person who said that he thinks I'm like got aimbot or walls and all this other stuff, he reckons that there's no need to say anything about this next kill. To me, it's straightforward. I come up here, I'm walking around, you know, I'm looking around everywhere. And so basically, I turn around, I'm walking forward, and I see someone in the window and shoot him. But apparently that's walls or something. I don't know. So, like, this exact second that I turn around, so from here, this very moment that I've turned around, I'm instantly, in this freeze frame, obviously I've just turned around. Now this is what I see. So when I'm looking at this, I'm scanning the windows. The windows are the first priority, okay? Because there's a wall there. People could be head glitching the wall. So what I'm doing is I'm scanning from left to right really fast, or right to left, whatever way. I mean, I was rotating around left, so I was probably checking the right-hand side first, which is probably why I saw him so fast. So I'm just scanning the area to make sure if I can see anyone. In the split second, I'll actually turn the audio up, and you'll see how long it took me to, like, see him, basically. Comes from behind me. I'm like, oh, it's in the window behind us. So as you see there, I take about 2 steps forward, and by the time I took 2 steps forward, I see the guy. 1, 2. Now, what I do is I see someone in the window. Now, this can show you I don't have aimbot. My first 1 or 2 shots actually went to the side. I then readjusted. And that's because, obviously, I turned left and jumped. So what I do if I'm in a situation like this, now, there's a guy. This is his head right here. Now, I know, again, my quality isn't great. I actually downloaded this video off of YouTube because I accidentally deleted the footage. So I would have had a bit of a clearer image, but unfortunately right now, this little bit here is his head, okay? Now, the thing is, guys, you know my internet is really bad, so therefore my quality of recording isn't going to be great because I'm not the stream and the bit rate, and it's not too good, and I do apologize for that. I am definitely working on trying to move out. But so in this instance, I don't know if you noticed, but I do a sort of little jump shot. So just here, right? In this situation, the guy in the window has the advantage. I've got no cover, and we can only see his head. So he has a massive advantage in this situation. So instead of just walking forward and shooting at him straight away, I actually So I basically just bunny hop myself to the side so that I'm at a complete new angle from where he was. So if he was shooting at me, he would then have to move as well. So I'm kind of putting myself and him at a situation. So watch me bunny hop to the left. Ready? I flick myself and start shooting. Obviously, I call out instantly to Dame, someone's behind us. I don't even say where. Did I ping? I'm not 100%. Let me triple check to see. In the window behind us. Oh, no, I did. Sorry, I said in the window behind us. Now, it doesn't take Dame very long to turn around and start shooting. Have a listen to how quick he reacts to it. And next thing I know, bam, 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 just comes from behind me. I'm like, oh. Ignore that. Bam, bam, bam. In the window behind us. He turned around so fast. Now, that is what you need as a teamwork. So with teamwork, you need a team that are going to respond quickly to most things you're doing. Obviously, there are times when I don't respond as fast, and obviously it is my fault. And there's obviously other times when other people don't respond so fast. Now, a lot of the time, I blame my teammates for a lot of things, and half of the time I know it's my fault, but my team know I'm only messing with them. But other times I'm just, you know, I'm right, you're wrong situation, and everyone is like that in gaming, which you need to remember as well. So let's turn this back down right now. So obviously that's explaining that certain situation. I wanted to go into detail with it because some people ask me about the whole bunny hopping, you know, ask me how I see things, you know, it's just scouring the main places. Like, there's another thing I really want to go into as well, is the fact that I've watched a lot of people lately, and when I'm watching them, it really hurts to see how long it takes people to loot. I'm not joking. So, say, for example, I've seen someone die and go to the gulag, and they come back and they land on weapons. Whether it's their own loot, whether it's some random person's loot. I tell you what, the amount of times I see people land on a loot, they look at a weapon, pick it up. Look at the other weapon, pick it up. Then they look at all the other stuff, pick it up. And they take about 20 seconds to loot a dead body. It should take you 3 to 5 seconds. Just land, square, 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 square. Push square as many times as you can. Loot up as quick as you can. Get to cover and armor up. It doesn't matter what is on the floor. It is better than your pistol that you land with. So all you should be doing is grabbing it. And that is it. That is all you should be doing. So I believe Dane was actually using the shotgun with me. I'm not too sure. I can't recall what he was using. But honestly, guys, I've seen so many people lately take about 30 seconds to loot a body. And that is what's getting them killed a lot of times. Because maybe it's in a situation where, you know, they've died, they've gone to the gulag, and their team is still fighting that team that sent them to the gulag. And then by the time they've come back, it's taken them 30 seconds to loot. The teammate that was still alive fighting has gone down and died because that current teammate has just spent 30 to 45 seconds looting a body because he's checking what he's picking up. And he's not got back to help. And that person's gone down because it's just taken them so long. And it really is a killer. So this right here, let's get the latest ping. I can't actually tell what that is. I believe it was around 12 meters, if I remember correctly. I think it was around 12 meters away that this guy was. Now, I want you to pay attention to how many hit markers or how many shots it actually takes to kill this guy. And this is what I'm going to say about this shotgun is not overpowered. Because at range, that was a lot of hits. And I didn't even break his armor there. I didn't even break his armor there. So in that whole situation, I didn't even break armor. So the shotgun isn't overpowered. So right here, we know that there's people here. We just, Dame's just killed one of them. Now, we got a team wipe here. So I've just been shot in the back, okay, from up the hill somewhere. I've seen this guy flying in. Now, I didn't have to pay attention to this guy, but he's landing on his... So a lot of people are like, Scopes, your teammate died because you weren't helping him. You're focused on a flyer that isn't necessary to the situation. Now, we don't know that. So basically, when a flyer is coming in, or there's loadout drops, okay? Now, I recall that we just passed some loadout drops. Now, when going past a loadout drop, you know for a fact that that means the local teams, the teams that are in the area, their loadout is there. So if there's loadouts over there, there is a highly good chance that those loadouts belong to the people we're about to fight. So I want to make sure that I've just now taken out that guy before there is a chance for him to come and shoot us in the back. So it's not that I was leaving my teammate to deal with this whole situation. I was also preventing a third party, you know, all of this thing. And Dane would do exactly the same thing. He would also have taken the shot on that person if he was in my shoes. Now, I actually got called a hacker in this situation on a multiple different occasions, and I'm going to break them all down for you. So the first one is, how did you know exactly where he was, and how could you... I'm going to read it out here, sorry. Let's have a look here. Again, pre-aiming at his chest behind the wall. So this is what we're going to be going up against now.
I'll get you. Oh.
That right there. So in that instance, apparently I'm pre-aiming his chest behind a wall. Now, we'll rewind it a little bit. Go forward a little bit. Here we go. So I'm going to turn it up. Not only do I see the bullet tracers come through the window, but Dane pings the location, and he tells me the location if you listen to the comms.
Can you... I'll get you. Oh.
He's right there. He's directly straight ahead on my mark.
So he's directly straight ahead on my mark. So I know roughly within 1 or 2 meters where this guy is. So I'm pre-aiming that location because of it. It's 2 different teams, which it was. We was fighting multiple teams. So the thing is, you know, apparently I'm a hacker because I was tracing that guy through the wall. Anyway, moving on. So the next one, apparently I'm following someone behind the wall, and my camera is always targeting someone. And as you'll see right here, obviously, trying to armor plate is a must kind of... You really do need to do it. So... right here, that airstrike actually broke open the door. So if you have a look here, when I call this airstrike in, it opens the door, which then puts me, gets shot at. Now, if that airstrike didn't open the door, I wouldn't have been shot in this situation, which means I wouldn't have lost 2 plates. Now, I armor up straight away. I jump out the back so that, you know, try and get a location. Now, I see where one of them is. So each time I'm peeking, I'm getting information of where roughly team people are. Okay. Also, audio on this game is a must give. So that's Dame in his gulag right now. So right here, I'm going to turn it up. Right here, you can hear the footsteps of the enemy.
Did you kill him?
Okay, we're in.
Take that as a no.
Right, now in this situation, you can hear clearly the footsteps of where every person is. And I got called out for being a hacker because apparently I got walls and I can see them. It's not hard. Open up your ears and you can hear the footsteps. Buy a headset. If you haven't got a headset, buy a headset if you want to get that advantage of being able to hear where they're coming through. Admittedly, if you're someone who plays and just has the audio coming out of your TV, you're not really going to know about, you know, footstep audio. But, you know, 90% of gamers do have a headset. So, you know, maybe this guy just doesn't play with a headset. He doesn't realize that you can actually hear footsteps. I don't know what the situation is. But again, you know, apparently I'm constantly just tracing people through walls. I mean, I play on a PlayStation. I use a controller. I don't know what else. So right here, the guy that I originally knocked, actually manages to self-res and comes in as I'm armor plating. It really does suck. There's not really obviously much I can do. And this is actually the final part of you know, where I get called out for being a hacker. And they say, after they say this, right, they was like, I could do this all day, but I ain't got the time. We need to stop this famous streamer. I'm not famous at all. I'm really not. I'm a nobody. He says he needs to stop this famous streamer from getting money from us while hacking and messing up the fun for other players. He goes, Scopes is a good guy and seems like a good person, but hacker. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Now, this is the last instance that on the timeline of the comment. This is the last instance that I get called for being a hacker. Apparently, I know exactly where he's coming from. So we'll let it play out. And we'll see exactly where it goes. So obviously, I'll throw that. And apparently, I knew exactly where he's coming from. But it all goes down to process of elimination. I'm checking the middle, okay? Right here, I'm checking the middle, okay? Nothing's coming. I throw a stun. I get nothing. I go to the right. No one is there. I check the left. He runs out as I check left. I have no idea where he is. The stun didn't hit him. You know, the throwing a stun through the middle is actually pretty hard regardless. Because when you throw a stun through the middle, it could be left or right. You don't know. Whereas obviously if you throw a stun to the right and it hits someone, you know they're over that right side somewhere. But regardless of that, you know, it's just down to process of elimination. I'm checking the middle. There's nothing there. I check the right. There's nothing there. I check the left. As I'm pre-aiming the left, he runs out and, you know, he runs out and he just runs into me. So I press the shoot button, you know. It's not rocket science. And I don't get, you know, how that's classed as suspicious and knowing where someone is through the walls. Because as you could tell from the way I was playing, I had no idea where he was. So obviously moving through, taking out trying to shoot the heli. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's not. Normally it's just more of a, oh, let's see if I can get a lucky shot on him. So obviously moving forward, let's try and just obviously, that's enough of the whole hacker situation. Now we're going to move on to obviously just general gameplay, and especially towards the end of the game, how we rotate. So obviously I've been hit again. Now, I can't even remember where I got hit from in this situation, but me and Dame are trying to hold down this area. Oh, was it the same team? No, it was a different team moving in. So, okay, so I tell Dame that we're being shot from multiple angles. Pinging is a necessity on this. If you can live ping, that's crazy. So communication, pings, anything to do, you know, anything you can do to get through to your teammate, relay that information is key. So obviously, me and Dame know we have to move from here. If we don't move, Storm is coming in. Not only is Storm coming in, but, you know, it's going to be a bit crazy. We moved just in time to be able to obviously get the kill on this guy. Now, I see one more guy, and I managed to knock him. That was just COD timing working in my favor. Honestly, COD timing is a 50-50. It's either in your favor or against you. There is no, oh, it done you a bit of favor, but it also, you know, COD timing is so crazy. I couldn't get through the wall. Now, obviously, Dame had pinged someone. I was trying to stay away. That's why I kept looking back to the left. Now, we know that the storm's coming in. We have to go up here. We don't want to go up here, but we know we have to because we do not have time to run around and get up. So it was either this way or no way. We die. So this is a very dangerous... Literally, as I pressed it, he pressed it as well. I was like, and you're dead in 3, 2, 1. Because normally people are always camping this to come up. And it's a very dangerous situation to be in if... You know, if someone does actually come, it's a pretty dangerous situation to be in. So obviously, we wanted to try and make our way around to the right. Because going over the left, it's an open field. There really isn't much out there. It's not worth putting yourself in an open space for no reason. You're better off. You're honestly just better off trying to... just to stay on the bridge in this instance. Especially with location to the zone. Now, I see someone, I ping them, I don't shoot straight away. You know, I tell Dame, there's people on the hill. We continue moving up. We have to get up because the storm's coming in. We try not to shoot for as long as possible. I grab self-res, I grab myself a precision airstrike, not a UAV. We jump down at this bit where basically we're now putting ourselves at a line of sight. There is less chance of us being seen, not only from here, but if you have a look on the map where the scavenger is, we don't know if there is anyone inside these buildings. So we get down here, they cannot see us if there is. We now have a process of elimination. There is only 2 ways that can see us. We've got up here on the ridge line. We've got the houses just over here to our left that can see us. We no longer have this. We've eliminated the ability for one of the ways to see us. We can see the ridgeline. We know there's people up there. I checked to the left to see if anyone's in the window. No one is in the window. Now, obviously, keeping a look on that left side to make sure I don't see anyone. I'm also checking out because people are going to be coming out of the storm. We know this. We've just seen them on the red dot. These actually had some pretty good aim on them. I managed to knock 1, knock 2. We used the whole mag there. Obviously, armoring up. Always armor up if you can. If you've got time to armor up, make sure you definitely get it on. Now, I chose here to rotate to the left so that I could get a bit of a better angle. Dane pushes up, making sure that we had that multiple different angles. And yeah, Dame is also using that shotgun, by the way. So the shotgun is, as I said, is not overpowered. It's for me, I personally think is perfectly balanced. And I was really scared when I saw in the patch notes that they were bringing this shotgun out. I was like, oh no, another OP shotgun. Let's go. It turns out I personally think it's perfectly balanced, and they've done really well with it. Obviously, rotating rounds, you want to make sure, you know, knowing the map awareness is definitely a help. Obviously, the storm's coming in. We want to try and get on the top of the hill to get the advantage, to make sure we can oversee the situation. We want to check to the right to make sure no one's coming in. I've done a really quick glance, and obviously I didn't see anyone on the quick glance, but we noticed that someone was up the top. I think it was Dame that called him out. Dame called him out that someone's up in the tower, so obviously I'm just trying to get a few pop shots. Now, I think, did Dame want to go to the shop? Yeah, Dame wanted to go to the shop because he just used his UAV and he had money left over. So he goes and buys another UAV. Does he need to get Ghost? I can't remember. I really can't recall if one of us needed Ghost or not. It might have even been someone might have needed it. I'm not too sure. But he has to jump down eventually. So obviously, yeah, Dame had to go and get Ghost. I think I grabbed mine. Yeah, I grabbed mine even though I didn't need it. It's just sometimes I forget. So obviously moving forward, we know he's there. So I don't want to look away for too long because in case he peeks over, he would have a nice clear view of us. So making sure that we, you know, keep our eye on him. Make sure he's not peeking us. I managed to get a few hits off, break his armor, hit him again, and it just leaves it open for Dame to go and... Oh, no, it was me that actually got the kill there. I thought Dame got it, if I was trying to recall correctly. So, obviously, moving forward, we know there's teams down there. I try and pick off 1 or 2 people, I believe, but we also know there's a team up the hill. So then, instead of going to pick off 1 or 2 people, Dame actually called out to me that there's people up here on him. I knock one, I instantly airstrike it. I honestly don't recall. Obviously, picking off like 1 or 2 from each team. So I downed someone with that airstrike. I managed to down another kid here. Do I down this guy? No, I don't think I downed him. No, I just really badly weakened them. So I see... Okay, so this is another example, guys. Obviously, Dame, I've told Dame I've knocked one. I had knocked one, and then the airstrike also knocked one. So I tell Dame to push, and I believe in Dame's ability. I know he can push the team on his own and be perfectly fine. So I don't always need to focus 100% on him. But right here, obviously, I've been focusing on another team. Now, as just said, I look at my mini-map all the time. So as I've turned around, I've checked my mini-map on this ping. So as you can tell from the ring here, I checked my mini-map because of the UAV ping, and I see a red dot here, which means I know there's someone to my left. I see it, I then look over, and I see the guy stood there. Obviously, I don't know if he was part of that team or not. We didn't get a team wipe, but Dame actually manages to go down here. But he's in a nice little spot. I tell him to pull back, start your self-res. I watch over. So look here. I don't instantly go to res him. I let him start his self-res. I finish it off for him so that he doesn't lose the self-res. He pulls back and heals while I push up and get an angle. Obviously, he's armoring up right now. We're both pushing forward. I see the last 2 behind there. 2 of them are knocked, and then the last guy's right there, which Dame is obviously healed up by now, because the moment I revive him, he's instantly starting his armor plates. Obviously, we're making sure here. I found another airstrike. I think Dame picks it up because he was empty as well. Now, we have the higher ground. Now, obviously, I do believe I say behind us. If I remember.
They gotta be in the house. They gotta be in the house, bro. There's 2 teams.
So, as I said, there's 2 teams.
We don't get pulled up on.
Oh, wait,
So, right here, Dame says there's 2 teams. Not only does he say there's 2 teams, but he also says that, you know, he believes there's someone down in the house. He lets us know that there's 2 teams alive still. And, obviously, I say, be careful we don't get rolled up on from behind. Now,
To make sure we don't get pulled up on.
so I see that there's a couple of people coming out. So we've got 1 there, 2, and 3. So
Pulling out in the house.
I've seen 3 or 4 down there. Oh,
Yo, my aim right now, holy.
so I actually get shot from behind.
Behind me, Dame. Behind you.
So I let him know.
Don't worry about.
So right there, obviously, at the very moment of time of me getting knocked, I scream at him, Dame behind you, Dame behind you. I luckily went down in cover, which was really lucky on my behalf. Not only did I go down while in cover, but, you know, the other team are basically downhill. One of them was obviously uphill, as you'll see right in a second here. Let's go forward a little bit. So I don't know why it freezes there. I do apologize. So obviously the guy that he pings here. So this guy is uphill. We are in a line of sight with him, but he has just been hit a lot from Dame. He has no armor plates. So I let Dame know, behind you, Dame, behind you, Dame. And I tell him, this is the only guy you need to worry about right now.
Behind me, Dame. Behind you. He's the only one you want to worry about.
So I let Dame know he's the only one you want to worry about, because I know that the guy who we just left alone, he's hurt. Dame might have even knocked him. I'm not sure. I think Dame actually knocked him. So we know that the other rest of that team are all down by the house. And they're hurt because we just put a whole mag into them. So I tell Dame, this is the only guy you need to worry about. Obviously, the positioning, we was already aware that someone could come from behind. We weren't 100% sure. But also notice how me and Dame were not next to each other. We are spread out, which means, you know, we're covering the majority of the high ground. If someone does come up from behind, they can't instantly kill us both with just like, you know, shooting one, shooting the other because we're next to each other. He shoots me. He goes to finish me, but obviously I get behind a rock. And I tell Dame, turn around. By the time Dame's turned around, he's in a nice, clean view of the guy. Not only that, but you need to think about the fact that Dame is far enough away from me that the other guy doesn't know exactly where his location is. So Dame manages to win. I self-res. At this stage in the game, it does not matter. Get that self-res off. Do not wait for your teammate to come and use it on you. You know, the last zone is coming in. Okay, we're about to hit last zone. You know, my teammate's a little bit far away. Him leaving that location might compromise his own safety because obviously he's got to cross the open part to come and get me. So obviously I heal up as quick as I can.
You got this, homie. We got this.
Dame is just shooting at them. With Dame shooting at them, they're all looking up towards him. They're not looking up towards me. Which gives me time to obviously... Now, I don't realize that Dame had killed this guy. He actually killed him as I went down. So I don't notice that Dame had killed him. So I'm looking over there. Now,
Where are they, do you know?
I ask him, where are they? Do you know? I then see the guy stood right here.
Not one.
And it was actually the last guy. The other one had actually been injured from Dame shooting him earlier on. So
Dude, this...
we actually managed to get, I don't know, I think I had 30 and he had like...
45 total.
There you go, he had 15. So, as I said, guys, it all goes down to that teamwork. Obviously, making sure that you work as a team. Your positioning is on point. Communication is a must. Honestly, it's a really big must. But in general, guys, let me know down in the comments if you've enjoyed me, you know, breaking down gameplay, explaining what's going on in my mind, why I'm doing certain things. Let me know if this is something you'd want to see more often. I'll be happy to obviously review footages and go through it. Maybe even from a subscriber point of view. Maybe you guys have hit some of your like personal best games and you want me to go through, break it down, say, you know, all the different things that I'm seeing going on and maybe improvements, you know, other things that I personally would have done differently that, you know, you pulled off that I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing. You know, let me know down in the comments below if there's anything like that that you want me to focus on in the future. If there's any other form of videos you want me to make that recall me going over clips or something like that, or watching, spectating other people, let me know down below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't done so, guys, please smash that sub button. I really appreciate it. I try and upload daily, guys. Obviously, I know that it's not always. Some days I might miss a day here and there. But normally, 9 times out of 10, in a month, say if a month's 28 days, I normally upload at least 26. So, hope we're getting there. We're getting there. And I really do appreciate all the love and support from you guys. If we can get 250 likes on the video, that'd be crazy. Love you all, guys. Check out down in the description my socials. I'm live over on Twitch every single day. The only times I'm not is if I'm really ill, which is once a year. So I'm normally live over there, guys. 8 p.m. UK time, or if you're from America, 3 p.m. Eastern. So it'd be really cool to come and to chat some of you guys. If you have any questions and you don't want to have to wait for a reply on the comment section, feel free to jump on over and ask a question over on the Twitch. Don't forget to hit the follow button over there as well. But guys, thank you so much for being awesome, and I'll catch you all in the next video.